I'd like to introduce you at this point to Chris, who's going to talk to us about his computer-assisted teaching methods. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm very excited to just kind of give you an array of different activities. I know that it's a really big challenge to come up with different activities every single week. And after this presentation is over, if you'd like to come up and discuss how we can kind of implement it into your classroom, then we can do that. All right, so this is our objectives today. I'll do the philosophy and approaches of what I've learned from my graduate school, what I've learned here, try to combine them together. The activities here will be vocabulary, patterns, and reading. And then current, future goals, if we have time, a video that encompasses, like, symbolizes my teaching approach, and then questions and answers at the end. So that will be our kind of outline there. So what are the two types of teaching strategies used in the classroom, really particular for like what we learned in Taipei? For some of us that maybe years ago, or how do we kind of group our instruction? We have teacher and we have students. So what would be kind of the center for that? Teacher-centered, and you don't have to raise your hand, just student-centered, and student-centered, right? So those two, right? So teacher-centered and student-centered. So what I try to do is, well, what if we kind of, see if we can just infuse them together and teach that way, so we can kind of keep have authority over the classroom, but also keep the attention on the students. And that's why I feel that the educational technology using the computer really allows teachers to do that. Okay, so I wanted to infuse the idea. So what are the basic 4 points for English, really quick? What are the basic 4 points? So we speak, right, listen, and read, right? So those are the 4. So I think about that when I come up with activities, and then I try to put it with the human senses, right? So what are our human senses? God, we know this. Step ahead 9. Oh my God, we know this already. Yeah. So I put together the 5 sensory verbs right now. The first 2, like smell and taste, I don't know how much of that you're actually going to be doing in the classroom, but a good buddy of mine that just recently left, Teacher Wee, he actually did a lot of some projects where he would do cooking, and he'd cook at home, and then he would come in and then have the kids try to taste and smell and incorporate that with his teaching, right? So it is possible. It depends on the grade. It depends on the level. But today we're going to be focusing on a lot of the visuals, the oral, and feeling will be kind of my future goals. What I'm going to do. Okay, and we'll go off to close-up, right? So I would demonstrate this in class. I say, okay guys, I say to the student, well, what if we had a picture and we just saw it? That's pretty easy, right? We have that a lot in our textbooks. But if we took the picture and came close, then it might be a little more challenging, right? So I said, well, what is this picture here? And then they take a look at it. If I did it in step ahead, then I walk around, or ESL, Queenie saw me do this. I walk around and then actually have the kids look. They have their textbook, they go back in, they see what the word is, they do the connection, right? So what fruit is this? Which one? Watermelon's a good guess, right? What else?
No, strawberry.
Strawberry. It could be watermelon. We can go into that debate, but I can say, well, you don't really see a lot of seeds. I can say I don't see any black seeds there, so we can go into that. But we can discuss and compare the contrast, right? So both would be acceptable. I would say, good job, both of them. So the next one would be to cut it up. So I would actually take a picture, and I say, last week we did the close-up, so this week I'm going to cut it. So I said, what if we cut it up? So this one would be, I made it a little easy. I would make a lot more and cut it up into very small pieces and then make it really challenging with it. So pineapple, yeah. And then also showing them the image allows them to just kind of be like, oh, okay, for the kids who didn't understand, that would be the pineapple that I used. Okay, we keep going. So now we're focusing on what sense? What sense are we focusing on? What sense? We're focusing on, I'm not doing anything with the ears yet, right? I'm not doing anything with video yet, right? I'm just doing all visual, okay? So this is different sets of words, so what kind of, now blurring it out. I just figured, well, what if Teacher Chris takes the paper and then takes his glasses off? I can't see anything, right? So now this is what this comes up, this comes from this, so over here, what do you think it is? Scarf and police officer, right? Listening, right? So now I'll come back into listening. So these are a new set of words, and what sound does this go with? Church. We're in a church, and what is this? Why is this in the church? We can expand onto that, and that's fine, right? So that's listening. All right, now I'm going into videos, right? So what vocabulary word can you see in this video? This is just a very basic version of this activity, and we'll go into more extensions in a moment. This is what I would ask the kids. If you can just take this really quick, I'm just gonna, if you can share. The kids would be looking at their Treehouse book. Right? This is from Treehouse 6, the unit I'm currently teaching in ESL at Chilver. So what I would like you to do is, can you tell me what the grammar pattern is? Can you fix the mistake? There are 2 of them, and who is speaking? Now, at Chungher, they won't know this person, but people here will know, right? Ooh, that's pretty bad. All right, hold on, we'll try again. So what pattern is it? So is it number 1, 2, or 3? 1. It's future. It's definitely future. So what would be the mistake now? Just go to the mistake. So yes, go to go. So is going to, right? So and it actually is the students. So we say the students are going to. Now I'm sorry for the clarity, right? And the person you might not know. Do you know? It's someone here. It's a teacher here.
Nate.
Yeah, it is teacher here. Right, so.
What's
that?
Do we have a copy of that?
You sure? Actually, I asked him to say the students is go into the classroom. He said bathroom for some reason. So maybe he had to go to the bathroom. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. There are 2 sentences. So one person can do the top. It's tag questions again. It's one person can do the top, and the second person can do the bottom. How about this? You can pick one. No, that's okay. You can pick one friend. Go ahead. You can pick who you want to. Yeah. There you go. There you go. All right, thanks.
What are we going to do? Fix it.
You're going to just fix it. So you can cross out the mistake and just as many mistakes as you can find.
So you're going to do the Sorry, you can write first. You can go first. Okay.
You can't just cross it out and fix the mistake. I haven't been write the whole thing out, but that's okay. Different mindsets, different results. Okay, you're on this team, you can help him. Okay, help him too. You have to kneel down. This is where you kneel down a little bit. Okay, good. Just ask. Is that what it's called? Okay, we have help from the audience. Go ahead. Friend is your spell. Friend is no stuff.
Oh.
Perfect. Okay. There we go. Thank you. This is. I tried this a long time ago and it worked okay, but this is just recent I started doing this. I'm going to end patterns with this. You can do this as kind of an open-ended project. This takes time to do in the class, and it kind of, the idea comes from the, not speech competition, the voiceover competition. Right? Now, the subtitles will not be there. I want them to create their own sentence, create their own use of the vocabulary and their own use of the grammar. So I put them into groups and they have to create their own script. It takes some time, and if we have to go into the next class to just perform, then we do that, right? Of course, I need to balance the curriculum to respect what we need to do. So I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to show you that when those blah blah blahs come, then they know they need to speak over it, right? This is the initial video. So they're not going to be performing over this because the people are talking, right? You can't do that.
Baby go, baby go. Baby go.
I'm just going to go a little faster and go.
There is no one on
I know.
I didn't even get to the performance part. You're showing all over this.
Where's your money?
Where's your money?
Now, I would just, in the past, I would just turn down the volume and then just play the video again. I didn't have the subtitle there. They would just have to read their lips. I found that was too difficult. They would be looking at their script. Sometimes they write too long of a sentence. They get off track. It just wasn't in sync, and that was about 2 months or 3 months, 2 months ago or so. This time, I put the subtitles, but also for the next clip, I used the same clip and I put the music back in there because I feel the music is supposed to, you know, it gives some mood. It's important, and this is what the students would do. So I took away the voices, I put in the music, still have the video, and put the subtitles. Again, this is for iMovie, and you use this for iMovie. This can be used for creative writing, so this is like the film, all right? I would just, so last night I went, is fine, to the supermarket with my mom and anybody, dad, my brother, my sister. We
Bought a
Bought
lot of food
and
paid for the food at the cash register. When we got to the car, my mom noticed she lost her keys and went back into the supermarket. She found the keys and we were able to go.
This is when I would give Lauren all of my ABCs and all of my. This is with my computer, so this is I'm still figuring out that specific program for Booth. So this is, they say the word and then they pass it. It's a good workout. You know, they can work out going back and forth, and they can read. They can read. They're reading a certain sentence or a few words. They go back and forth, and teacher Lily saw me do this in class, and they seem to be engaged and they enjoy it, right? And then they're racing it to each other, or we can have maybe a time, or how would you link the computer to this kind of activity? Or maybe you can tell me another time. That's fine.
Thank you, Chris. If I may, I'm going to share something right from the beginning when you started to now.
No problem.
If it's okay, you beat me up later if it's not proper. But when Chris started teaching language, he came to us as a music teacher. And he went into every class super prepared, but as a conductor, right? He stood in front of the class and he drove every class like a performance. To the point after 1 month where I had to put him aside and say, you are going to have a heart attack. His eyes were bulging, his jugular veins were just about popping, he was frothing at the mouth, and it was all sort of like focused on him performing for 2 hours in every single class, 4 hours a day, and he was not having any fun. Right? And eventually, just stop him from actually doing that and help him to actually manage the shift from actually being very teacher-driven, performance-focused to actually focusing on the students' participation. And I think that he has had to change his teaching philosophy a little bit to accommodate not just the HIS expectations and the HIS curricula, but also how to actually involve his passion and his talents and his skills and his classrooms so that his teaching can be enjoyable not just for the students but also for himself. Okay, so what he said about it, taking time, no kidding, right? You know, when you start to do something different, you're going to be over-invested in time and everything, but I think that the enjoyment is paying off because, you know, 5 years ago, he had certain objectives for being in Taiwan, and he's met all of those objectives and more, but he's actually finally enjoying teaching English, right? The number of times where he said to me over the past 5 years, I'm a music teacher, I'm a music teacher, I'm a music teacher. It's like, okay, but actually we need you to teach language, right? And finally, I think he really is enjoying what he's doing, and I know that this is only the starting point for him in respect of where he plans to go with this kind of thing. I do not expect the teachers in this room this afternoon to go back to their branches and immediately start this kind of approach to their classes, because practically maybe it can't even happen for some of you. But I do hope what I said earlier, if what he's doing with his classes can at least inspire you to look at your classes a little bit differently, and it doesn't need to be all of them, but maybe some of the classes where you can start to do things differently, I think that you will also enjoy your teaching a lot more. I watch you guys as well. Usually when we have trainings, everybody's a little quiet and not very responsive, but because he was doing different things, some of you actually dared to actually get in and get involved and be a little cheeky with him and make the participation and the interaction happen. And that's really what I see happening in some of the classes when I walk around, is that the kids are engaging differently in the lesson. Much more rewarding to teach a class where the kids are actually engaged. And his doing what he said he's doing is blending the teacher-driven and the student-centered. They're not really separate, right? They're kind of together, right? And I think that that's quite special, because it's not exactly the way we were taught. You have actually managed to sort of bring them together a little bit differently. So I know that he's very busy, and I know also that it took a lot of time to pull together what he has been using just to present to us this afternoon. So I personally, on behalf of everybody, would just like to say thank you for your time and your effort and your energy, and I think, yeah, pretty cool stuff there. Thank you.
Thank you.